Cochrane's corner. There is header, and it's gone
in! That late one goal was all it needed. 11 attempts for either side. His was just 3 on target, the Hearts at 6, and the visitors dominating possession in this win. Would you say that is a fair result, Chris Collins?
I think in the whole concept of the game for the 90 minutes, I thought they had a little bit more cutting edge in the final third. I thought Naismith added certain qualities in the final third, but it just shows you how much Stokes has missed in the Hibernian team. I thought they really did lack a cutting edge in the final third. They never really had any clear-cut chances. The best 2 chances probably came to Boyle, which he couldn't convert. And I think when you've got probably one player on the pitch in Boyle that's your main threat, you need other people alongside him. I think Stokes is a huge miss in the final third.
Yeah, it was, but you know, I think from the very first, from the first whistle, Hearts set out with their intent. They took the game to Hibs. There was a wee spell maybe towards the end where Craig Levine probably thought that when Neil Lennon changed to a back 3 and went to 5 across the middle, that the game was getting a bit stretched. With the pace of Boyle, it might have caused them trouble. But you know, fair play to Hearts. They dug in there. You know, and with the set plays, with the height and everything they've got, it's a fantastic. It'll be interesting to see who actually got the goal, because I think. When Craig comes in, you know, we'll be asking him, because I'm not too sure. I think it could be Don Cowie's. You know, I know Christophe Berra's got it, but I think Cowie gets a little nick on it to take it over the line. But you know, over the 90 minutes, Hearts deserve to win. There's no doubt about it. You know, and it just shows you the transformation since the club has come back here to Tynecastle. A bit of momentum, the quality signings they've brought in. Stephen Naismith led the line. Or from that left-hand side up front, when he did go up front, excellent. But you know, for me, I thought Mitchell at left back, or left of the 4 in midfield, was excellent, and that could be a should bit of business as well.
For you, Chris Collins, a 10-game wait for an Edinburgh derby when finally comes in a match like this. How much will this do for the Hearts fans? Yes,
certainly gives them bragging rights for this week, that's for sure. But I think in the long term of Hearts, it will be now to try and catch Hibernian and overtake them and just see where they can go, because ultimately they're keeping clean sheets. They've now got a strike force which is going to be very competitive when you think of Lafferty coming back and Naismith. I think they could be at the cutting edge in the final third. So yeah, things are looking very bright for Hearts at the minute. They just need to maintain what they're all about at this minute in time.
Okay, we'll have plenty more to come from you two, with lots more analysis and post-match reaction. But let's find out who is playing who in the next round of the William Hill Scottish Cup. Luke Shanley is ready with his guests and can tell us exactly what's going to be happening. Luke.
Thank you very much, Hayley, and welcome to the 5th round draw of the William Hill Scottish Cup. We actually had 22 teams in the draw for the 5th round due to various postponements due to the bad weather over the last couple of days. And also Dundee and Inverness will go to a replay after an entertaining 2-2 draw yesterday. Let's check out the all-important numbers then, and you can keep an eye out for your favourite team. The Highland League are represented. Brora Rangers beat East 5 yesterday, and they are in the 5th round draw for the first time. They are number 4. Cove Rangers and Formartine United, they will try again in 10 days' time after their game was postponed. They are number 8. Fraserburgh, they are still in the draw, but they have to beat Rangers. They will try again in 10 days' time after their game was postponed. So Fraserburgh and Rangers fans, look out for number 9. Celtic, the holders, they are number 5. Last year's runners-up, Aberdeen, second in the Scottish Premiership, are number 1. And the winners of today's Edinburgh Derby, congratulations to Heart of Midlothian, they are number 11. Delighted to say joining me to make the draw are Amy MacDonald, Scottish singer-songwriter and a man who won this competition on 3 occasions, David Weir. Amy, I'll ask you to draw the home teams, David the away teams. Amy, it's over to you.
So nervous doing this. I'll give it a good rummage. Number 8.
First out the hat, number 8, and that's Formartine United or Cove Rangers.
Number 13.
And they'll take on number 13, Livingston or Falkirk.
Number 10.
Number 10 is Greenock Morton. They beat Dunfermline yesterday.
Number 16.
They'll take on number 16, it's Peterhead or Dumbarton.
Number 11.
Next up, it's today's winners, Heart of Midlothian. They have a home tie.
Number 2.
They'll play number 2, Albion Rovers or St Johnstone.
Number 12.
Number 12 is Kilmarnock. Chris Boyd in the studio will be happy with that, a home tie.
Number 4.
Number 4 is Brora Rangers. The Highland League team going to Ayrshire.
Number 3.
Number 3, that's Ayr United.
Number 9.
And they will take on number 9, Fraserburgh or Rangers.
Number 1.
Number 1, Aberdeen, last year's runners-up.
Number 7.
They'll take on number 7, Dundee United. And a new firm derby there.
Number 6.
Number 6, Dundee or Inverness. They drew yesterday, 2-2.
Number 14.
Number 14, it's Motherwell. So we know we've got a Glasgow derby here, but who will be at home?
Number 5.
It's the holders, Celtic at home. And if everything's being done correctly, it should be...
Number 15.
Number 15 is Partick Thistle. There we go. That concludes the draw for the 5th round of the William Hill Scottish Cup. The ties will take place on the weekend of the 10th and 11th of February. 2 games will be live on Sky Sports. A few talking points there, Hayley. With that, it is back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting reaction to that in just a moment. Just to confirm, the draw for Martin United or Cove Rangers up against Livingston and Falkirk. Both those games postponed, of course. Green Morton will host Peterhead or Dumbarton, and it's a trip here to Hearts for Albion Rovers or St Johnstone. Kilmarnock host Brora Rangers from the Highlands. Ayr United up against Fraserburgh up against Rangers. That one's still to be played. Dundee United travel to Aberdeen. It's Dundee or Inverness Caledonian Thistle hosting Motherwell. Partick Thistle travel to Celtic. Right. So here we have it. Get reaction from the winning manager. Craig, thank you very much indeed for joining us. How are you feeling about who you've drawn?
I'm just relieved to have got through today's match. It'll be tough. I mean, the odds would say that St Johnstone would get through against Albion Rovers. You never know. And we haven't had a great time against St Johnstone in recent seasons, so it will be tough. But I'm glad the game's at home.
Yeah.
Craig, how impressed were you with the guys making their debut today?
Well, Stephen, I said before the game that I expect Stephen to do well. He's 45 caps for Scotland, and 31-year-old. He moved for £8 million, I believe. So there's no doubt in his quality, and he's not going to be phased by the atmosphere or anything. I was really pleased with Demi. I thought that. I was a little bit worried. You know, I know he played one match for Manchester United, but the level of players that he had round about him today weren't quite as good as getting there, but not quite as good as Man United players. And you have to stand on your own 2 feet in these games, and you know we needed balance on that left-hand side, and I thought he provided us with that, with energy, determination. His defending was good, so I'm pleased for both of them, but particularly Demi.
They connected well together as well, up and down that left-hand side.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't have known that was the first game playing together, or or Demi's first game here at Tynecastle. But they had good play. The other thing about this is that Demi puts the ball in the box, and we've lacked this. You know, we've lacked pace on the left-hand side, we've lacked balance, and you know, he likes to put the ball in the box. He likes to cross it. He was a winger when he was younger, and he's been converted to a wing back or a full back. And overall, for his first game, I thought he was excellent.
Do you feel as if that's business done for Hearts now for the rest of the transfer window, or have you got an eye on other targets that may strengthen even more?
Yeah, I think we need another midfield player, and we could do with a winger. So if possible, I would like to get another 2 players. It will very much depend on finance, of course. But I feel better, you know, watching training the last couple of days, seeing new players. You know what it's like for yourself. For players, when good players join the group, it makes them feel better. And I'd like to add another couple as well.
You spoke about attacking there, Craig. How pleased must you be? I mean, that's 7 clean sheets in a row now.
Yeah, and that isn't what we set out obviously to do. We just set out to be difficult to beat, and it's become a thing now. I'm delighted. It's allowed us to feel like if we get one, then the opposition are going to feel it's difficult to score against us. I think Christoph and John Suter have a huge part to play in that. But the games that Aaron Hughes has played, he's 38 years old now, and so he's older than he's nicely older than you, I think.
Just. He's got a bit more grey.
But you know, he's not played every week, but you see, he just knows what he's doing. So he brings a calmness to the back line as well.
Right, let's have a look towards the end of the game when there was relief certainly on your face, which then turned to joy with this great goal as well. Been arguing over who it's going to be going to. I think Cowie in the end.
Cowie's claiming it, and when I saw it, I thought Don just got a little touch on it there, and John McGinn was unlucky actually that he didn't manage to clear it. I was almost hoping it wasn't him.
What does it mean to you? You've obviously played in games like this as well before, but to break that run in the manner that you did it?
It was a tough match. The last game here was a tough match. I knew we would get that determination because we've got that in the group. It was just about whether we could get a bit of quality in the game. And this was better than the last match. There was more quality in this game, and I think that we provided most of it. Hibs did have a couple of opportunities to score. John made one fantastic save, but in general I felt we had the better of the game, had the better chances.
Do you feel as if now we put the Hibs out today, you can go and catch them in the league now also? Yeah, I think as a consequence of this result, I'm sure the players will feel better. Also, as I say, bringing 2 new players in, and if we can get another 1 or 2, then I think that will help build momentum. This game, obviously, it's not a league match, of course, but to play your rivals when you haven't beaten them for 10 matches and win the game is the most important thing. You'll know that, you'll understand the significance of that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much indeed for joining us. We'll let you head off in just a moment and, of course, join your squad. But let's hear from his opposite number, Neil Lennon. He's with Luke Shanley.
Neil, disappointment today. Sum up that for us.
Well, there's nothing much in the game, really. You know, I think both teams missed, you know, very good chances early on. Naismith and then Boyle. And the game could have went either way. It's a difficult playing surface. I think Hearts edged the game overall, but it's a derby and you expect that. Just disappointed we lost in the manner that we did. It was a very scrappy goal. Nice to see a linesman doing his job properly on that side. There wasn't much in the game really. So, you know, congratulations to Hearts, but I like to congratulate my players as well. It's been a fantastic run of derbies undefeated.
I was just going to say, is there an irony in the way the goal went in and the fact the linesman gave it?
Yeah, maybe coincidence or not, you know, so it was good to see him up a play.
How frustrating was it today out there when you did have chances, you were unable to take them?
Yeah, Boyle had a couple of great chances. Well, really, you know, I'm disappointed with he's had the volley, and then from the corner, our corner, they're breaking on us, and too many players out of position. Don't know if they got carried away over the last few minutes. And then, you know, we didn't deal with the corner, although I think we could have cleared it off the line. You know, we've got players in the right positions.
It's a new experience for a lot of the players in your dressing room, losing in an Edinburgh derby. How do you try and pick them up after that?
Well, you know, every adverse defeat we've had, we've come back very well. So we've a lot to look forward to still. It's disappointing to be out of the cup, but like I said, the game was on a knife edge for the majority of the match. So, you know, the breaks went for Hearts today rather than us.
Are you still looking to get more players in before the end of the window?
Not sure yet. You know, we'll see what the next week brings.
And I mentioned Anthony Stokes before the game. Any advance after the game on his Hibs future?
No.
Thanks, Neil.
All right.
To be fair, he's probably not going to be thinking about Anthony Stokes. He's just really disappointed that, unfortunately, he's suffered defeat in such a big game like this.
Yeah, it has, because, you know, the Scottish Cup's been good to Neil, and especially the last few times Hibs and Hearts have met as well. It's been good to Hibs, so he'll be disappointed. I think, you know, he said there, the manner you lose a game, especially away from home, you don't want to be hitting the counter-attack so late on in a game. You know, Hibs, you know, they're very good unit defensively in terms of the back three, but you know there is that turnover when they are attacking, that when they do lose it, teams can hit them in the break. You know, so it's very important that you know that the attacking players get back in and do their shift defensively as well. You know, and Neil touched on it there, that you know it's all well doing it going forward, but you've got to do it going back to give yourself any opportunity to win a game of football.
Yeah, I think that's a problem that there is in the final third with Hibs, that it's quite frustrating for him to see.
I think he's obviously bitterly disappointed that they've lost the game first and foremost. I don't think there's a severe problem in terms of Hibs attacking and leaving too many spaces. I think in a cup game where you're going into the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, you are committing more bodies forward, you're wanting to try and win the match. They committed the bodies forward, they had, especially the fullbacks, in really high positions. It's the job of the centre midfielders then to just be that reassurance, but I think when Bartley goes off, they go 2 up front, they've got McGinn and McGeoch in the middle of the park, and you know they're eager, young, fit players that want to try and make a difference in the final third. Sometimes you can just analyse a game the day after and just look at little things where you can positionally put yourself as a player just to be a little bit more defence minded. But you know, it's like alien, you know, 4 or 5 minutes of the last kick of a cup game, you want to try and commit.
When you're away from home, you've got an opportunity to go back home to win the cup tie. You know, with 5-10 minutes to go, that would have been Neil's thought. Just don't get beat here today. We'll go back to Easter Road. We'll get another full house there, and hopefully we can turn them over at Easter Road. It wasn't to be the case, but let's not get away from the fact I thought Hearts were excellent all day. The way Naismith, Mitchell, you know, Craig said it there as well, the way they combined for probably not even knowing each other. Jim also, I thought, had a nice tidy game. Harry Cochrane is starting to grow into, you know, I know he's only 16-year-old, but he's now starting to grow into, you know, a first team player. You can see he's getting stronger. He's competing against, you know, a midfield, as I said before the game, that has totally dominated the majority of teams in the league. I know this is a cup game, but, you know, the only slight thing I would say maybe Calves maybe have to do a bit better up front, but I thought Naismith was excellent. You know, one that will probably slip under the radar as well was Randall, up and down that right hand side I thought was excellent, and then the back three, or back four should we say, because McLaughlin in net's pulled off a fantastic save also, but you know the back three with Aaron Hughes in the middle, anchoring that with the experience beside Christoph Berra, we said before the game as well, he will defend for his life. You know, we've seen that when Hibs are putting balls in the box, you know, stick his head anywhere.
He's a real leader, a real sort of guy that you want at centre back. You know, he is a leader example on and off the park, captain of the club, and he's one of them sort of players, like I said beforehand. He's not one that you want on the ball so often. He's not going to give you blistering runs through the midfield, but what he does do, he puts his heart on the sleeve, he defends magnificently, and he's now gave Hearts a chance of obviously getting through to the latter stages of the cup with a fantastic header where Don Cowie picked up the pieces.
Before they turn the lights out on us quickly, your draw, Kilmarnock against
yeah, well, I think in the cup you want a home draw. You know, we said if we get a lower league team that would be good. So yeah, we'll look forward to it. We know it'll be a tough game, but it's one we look forward to. It gives us every opportunity to progress further into the competition as well.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much indeed too, Chris. And Chris, plenty more of course still to come live for you on Sky. We'll be back with Premiership action next week on Sunday from 1:30. It's Ross County hosting Rangers. And then in the Monday night football, it's Swansea Liverpool on Sky Sports Premier League. This afternoon hasn't been quite the classic, or maybe it has been a classic at Edinburgh Derby, but it's Hearts who are through to the next round of the Scottish Cup. Sky Sports Football. Feel it all.